So this is a website I made called Anne's Handmade, and it's an e-commerce site, relatively small in scale for someone who didn't have a lot of money to um, invest in spending a lot of money for development in general or monthly rates on a platform. So I was able to make this whole site, um, even take the photos for the client and do all the processing and editing on those, and then find hosting for it for just $5 a month on DigitalOcean. Now it's a React front end, and it's also JavaScript on the back end. It's based around Node. Um, we go even to this extension Waffleizer. You can see it recognizes my React, my Node. It's running on a Linux box on DigitalOcean. That's the Ubuntu using Nginx. And it's based around a framework called Next. That's a JavaScript React framework. And yet Webpack's in there too. So it pretty much nailed most of the stuff that's on here. Um, there are a few more details. It does use Stripe to handle payments. So you had something in the cart and wanted to check out, a Stripe checkout would pop up, and this would go through all the flows where you enter your card and address and everything in. And then that would show up on this business owner's Stripe account. And they could process the payment to their bank account there. One thing I do like about this, it's really simple, but it's also very quick. It's like really quick. So, I mean, you click on anything and it's got a cool paginated catalog and little animations when you hover stuff, but you click on something and it goes in there pretty quick. You got this cool ability to have multiple images here and to zoom in on the image. Um, Simple explanations. Um, Catalog feature is pretty cool. You can shop by category, and I just put a simple little CSS animation when you hover over one of the different types of stone. And of course, when you click on it, it's going to filter the catalog down. It's going to calculate how many pages, how many items you have, and then you can add to cart directly from here. So you don't have to go to that detail view. You can add to cart right from this view, and then now that item is going to show up in the cart. You can easily remove stuff from the cart like that, and it does have search. So we can search for stuff involving a dog. And then you can just, boom, pick a result, and it's going to bring you right to the page with the result. And there we go. Got our dog paw. And I did build in additional features for the store owner, and I'm still an admin on this site too. Users can log in, and you can view your order history. And you can view all kinds of inventory data in tables here right within the website. So from here, you're able to edit any of the pricing, any of the images. I think I put like a light box, a zoomable image here. You could go in, yeah, a form opens up and you can edit any of these things. You can add one or two images and then just update it right from here. You can delete it even. You can upload new products right here. So it ends up being a pretty simple, easy to use interface. you can handle sales data through there. I don't want to go into that just because this is the production site. I don't want to be messing with her stuff too much here. I just want to show you what it does. But from that admin board, you can also toggle the shipping status and get the addresses, and even print off shipping labels from in there. So that's pretty cool. Basic stuff, privacy, shipping. So it's a very simple site, but when you really start to dig into it, everything is, I mean, I built everything from scratch using JavaScript. I believe I'm using some kind of SQL, I'm using Docker to host a Prisma database, which is a MySQL database, and I'm using a pretty cool, it's like a ORM, helps with your database stuff, but I'm using that. I've got that spun up on DigitalOcean, and really easy to work with, really easy to manage. I had to write, all the resolver logic, so all the API calls to Stripe. I'm using S3 for the handle the uploads of the images. All the images are stored on S3, and I put in a CDN, so they're served really fast. And even though I think there's like maybe 100 or 200 products on the site, so even with paying for that, it's literally like pennies a month for the storage based on the traffic she gets. So that's not a big deal. And that's pretty much Anne's Handmade. Pretty cool site. Oh, I did forget, it does also send emails. I did write an article getting into a little bit more depth about the different stuff that it's using Apollo server on the back end and some of the code to encrypt passwords and for cookies. It is using cookies and stuff like that to keep track of who's who. And then it will automatically send a receipt email. I made these email templates myself. There's a permission system for admins and regular users. AWS 3 I did mention. Oh, I integrated Google Sheets. So you can go right from a spreadsheet and you can upload a whole entire spreadsheet to the database. And basically that saves you from putting a product in one at a time. So you can edit and get everything just the way you want it in a spreadsheet. And then basically with a couple lines of code, really all you have to do is type one line of code to get it to execute. But I wrote a bunch of code that seeds the database automatically, which is pretty cool stuff. That I worked with Prisma. So that was pretty sweet on the back end. So the back end is pretty cool, especially when you have to build it entirely from scratch. No shopping platforms here. This is 100%. I built this platform myself. And then, optimize the images, the shopping cart, Stripe checkout I mentioned. Oh, responsive design. I almost forgot. That's huge. So when you're looking at it on different devices, like an iPhone 10, for example, it's going to reshuffle the deck. It's going to reshuffle the items into, the way they should be based on whatever device you're on. So, it's definitely responsive. So no matter what device, it's going to look good. It's not going to all of a sudden show half the screen on a phone. It's definitely built with mobile in mind, and I think it came out pretty good, to be honest. And you have Apollo Client, the search, the pagination. This is what orders look like. You can always review your order history, the admin dashboard with order numbers, links to Stripe, client information, total, keep track of all your sales, and the deployment to DigitalOcean. And it does have a testing and build system with Travis. So this is Handmade, complete full stack e-commerce built with JavaScript.